This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. The rubber game of this all-important weekend series. The Cincinnati Reds, the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 3. And welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Dan McLaughlin, the Cardinals Hall of Famer. Jim Edmonds with us, Jim Hayes as well. And ball game, what a ball game it was last night. And Nolan Arenado with the big home run, number 30.
I'll tell you what, it couldn't have been at a better time. And 30 is a special number, but clearly he was super excited to get this team back on track. And you can see the excitement in the stadium. And look what he's done against Cincinnati in the last 10 games.
The .462 average, the 3 home runs. He's driven in 10 in the last 10 and 7 extra base hits. But last night, a memorable shot. It was number 30. In a comparison, Scott Rowland, his first full season with the Cardinals was 03 for Nolan Arenado. It's here in 2021. And two of the best at their craft of playing third base in the major leagues and wearing the birds on the bat. It's the St. Louis Cardinals. It's the Cincinnati Reds. It's Game 3. The bullpen, outstanding here lately. A look at the pen coming up next on Bally Sports. In downtown St. Louis, day baseball as we wrap up the homestand. Game number 3, the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. And for the Reds, Jimmy, it's the right-hander, Sonny Gray, and the Cardinals have had their way with him.
Yeah, you can see right here, made a lot of mistakes over the past couple of games, and they've really taken advantage, and especially in Cincinnati. You can see right here, Tyler staying inside a ball right here, but looks like there's a lot of balls flying in Cincinnati this year, and they are looking forward to that today.
Jay Happ, 8-8, Sonny Gray, 7-6. It's been back and forth all weekend long. Reds, Cardinals, all-important Game 3 comes your way next. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Beautiful day here in the Gateway City as we wrap up the homestand. The Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. It is 83 degrees, and the rubber game between the Reds and Cardinals. Nolan Arenado breaking a 4-4 tie late last night with home run number 30. And a huge win for St. Louis as they start play 2 games out in the wild card. And today it's game number 142. Well, the last 2 starts have not been good for Jay Happ. 6 innings combined, 11 earned, and 4 home runs allowed. So trying to change that here today.
You look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal with the 4-seam, 2-seam, changeup, slider, curveball. Pretty much mixes everything up. Likes to throw his fastball, stays away, tries to stay down. Keep the ball down.
Jonathan India looks at a ball, and we're underway. So Mike Schilt and his club, 72-69, 2 games back, half game in front of the Phillies. And then we'll see the Mets at Citi Field tomorrow night. Cardinals will head out on a 3-game trip and then return home. Adam Wainwright and Rich Hill going tomorrow, 2 of the oldest players in Major League Baseball. Jonathan India at the top. Tyler Stevenson, the catcher today. Then Nicholas Castellanos popped his 28th home run last night. Votto, Suarez, Aquino, Cabrera, DeShields, and the pitcher batting 9th, Sonny Gray. The 2-1 pitch lifted in the air to the center fielder Harrison Bader for the first out. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. O'Neill, Bader, Carlson. That trio in the outfield. Arenado, DeYoung, Edmund Goldie on the infield, and Andrew Kisner is behind the plate.
I like that they got Kiz back in there today. Give Yachty a little break. Kiz some playing time.
And maybe a sign of things to come next year, too.
Yeah, a little bit more rest for Yachty. Let him be well rested. You know, he's got a hand issue, and I just can't imagine him not having any leg issues at all, right?
All the foul balls and just the wear and tear of it all. The 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2.
Some kind of warrior.
Been a great player, and we'll see him one more year in 2022.
Stevenson over his last 6, hitting .281 with 9 home runs. And the 0-2 pitch. And a strikeout, the first of the afternoon. Good pitch. Paints the inside corner,
Pretty good
top of the zone.
And that's the thing, you know, some of these older lefties thrown away for so long that when they just start making that pitch right there, you're going to throw the Reds off completely. And you have to make those pitches, whether they be early or late. You've got to show them that you will throw the ball in there.
Nick Castellanos shift on the left side of the infield. Hits it out of play and strike one. So 2 outs and nobody on. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. The shift on the left side, the outfield just about straight away and deep for Castellanos. Now has a career high in home runs with 28. Right center, shallow, Bader. 1-2-3 for the Reds. Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first.
Tommy Edman at the top, and then Paul Goldschmidt, Tyler O'Neill, Nolan Arenado, Dylan Carlson, Paul DeYoung, who homered last night, Harrison Bader, Andrew Kisner, Jay Happ. And it is Sonny Gray. He's made 1 start this year at this ballpark. 3 2/3, 5 earned, couple of doubles, home run. As he walked 3, struck out 6 in limited time. As you mentioned in the open, the Cardinals for the most part have had his number. He's got good stuff when he's right, the Hyundai pitch arsenal.
He's got really good stuff and a lot of fastballs. 50% of the time, you just got to pick out the 2-seamer and the 4-seamer, but you see all the way down at the bottom, then the curveball comes. So I think that the thing that the Cardinals would jump on is that fastball, and the curveball hasn't been as sharp, and it gets in between a slider and a curveball. And then that's when the ball stays up a little bit, and that's when you saw the results that we saw early on, which was the homers in the open, and hopefully we'll see some of those today.
Tommy Edman has reached base in all 18 games against David Bell and the Reds.
Hit safely in 15 of the 18. And that pitch taken for a ball inside. Jim Edmonds, Toyota, key to the game.
Well, the key to the game today would be to score early and score often. So what that means is get to Sonny Gray, but keep pushing your foot on the gas pedal to take the pressure off the Cardinal pitching staff, and especially Happ today, who has struggled a little bit in his last 2 outings. Not so bad versus the Dodgers, but against the Reds the last time out, the time before. And you just want to give him a little breathing room so he can go out there and afford to make a mistake here and there and not cost him the game.
And a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Good breaking ball right there. I already hear the grunts from up here. Here's Max Efron out of the gate.
Back to him. And a underhand to Joey Votto for the out. First man retired here in the home half of the first. Reds defensively with Aquino in left, DeShields in center. Remember, Naquin hurt with sore ribs last night in that collision. Castellanos in right field. Cabrera, Suarez, India, Votto on the infield, and Tyler Stevenson behind the plate. This is also a Reds lineup minus Jesse Winker, and that is big. Winker an all-star this year and has crushed Cardinal pitching. Line to Votto. And Goldie retired. There's 2 away. Brings in Tyler O'Neill.
It's really not what you're looking for when you get a fastball first pitch and you go with it. You hit it right at the first baseman, but I like being aggressive.
Well, the Cardinals now 4-5 after the win last night against the Reds here at home. Tyler O'Neill, the base hit into left. Great moment at the ballpark. Crowd was electric last night. Cardinals fell behind 4-0. And then in a 4-4 game, number 30 off the bat of Nolan Arenado. Great moment. Six career 30 home run campaigns for Nolan Arenado. It's 4th most by any third baseman. Mike Schmidt had 12 of those. Eddie Matthews 10. A-Rod at 7. And the first pitch is taken for a ball. 2 outs and a runner at first.
So the emotion of Nolan Arenado. Also, night before, it was Yadier Molina with a home run. And the curtain calls. And the 1-0 pitch. We saw in this homestand Albert Pujols hit a home run. And so a lot of emotions throughout this week here at Busch Stadium. It's been great.
Some big home runs. Like you said, for the visitors and for the home team. And all those older guys getting it done, huh?
Absolutely. 2-out base hit, Tyler O'Neill, and the 2-0. Arenado with number 31 into deep left, off of Big Mac land. Back-to-back days with 2-run blasts, and it's 2-0 St. Louis. He's now 5 for 10 against Sonny Gray. Home run number 31. And he's 4 shy of the century mark in runs batted in, up to 96. And Carlson hits a high fly ball into right. Castellanos near the track and puts it away. Nolan Arenado. Back-to-back games. Consecutive at-bats. 2-run blast. 2-0 St. Louis.
Arenado as we check in with Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Danny, Mike Schultz says Edmundo Sosa is available today. He had been dealing with a wrist issue. Another start at shortstop for Paul DeJong. Paul had a big game last night. He had a homer, his first since August 12th, and a single. The homer accounted for the Cards' first run, and Mike Schultz says it changed the direction of the game. He told me, big swing, and we punch right back. We're down 4-0, and with one swing, Paulie got us going. Paul has dropped his leg kick down just a little, and Schultz says he looks better at the plate. Schultz said Paul is trying to simplify things. He looks comfortable. It's no coincidence he had a couple of walks the night before. Danny, Paul definitely does look better.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. And when I say Jimmy, I mean I got to say the Cat, or am I talking to ball game? So I'll just say ball game. You picked up on that as Votto check swing foul ball with 2 strikes, but you picked up on that the other night. The high leg kick, getting that front foot down, and not being off balance at the plate.
Yeah, I think sometimes when he struggles, he tries to get up and get down early, but then what happens is the leg stays in the air for a split second too long. The small leg kick, or just go back to the basic stride, which he's a little bit more than that, and he's on time a little bit more often.
And a swing and a miss as Votto strikes out number 2 this afternoon for Happ.
I mean, listen, you can be on time all day long, and this is still the big leagues, and you're going to get pitches like this, and it's tough. So can you imagine if you don't have the timing?
Eugenio Suarez in game 1 with home run number 26 on Friday night.
Just a little one.
That was a blast. The second longest we've seen here at Busch Stadium this year. So he's driven in 70. He's hit 26 home runs, but comes in with a 177 average. He's got 11 hits against the Cardinals this year. 8 of the 11 have been for extra bases.
I like what Happ's doing right here. He's mixing in some fastballs inside to both lefties and righties.
Going to be Wainwright, Jake Woodford, John Lester, the 3 games upcoming in the Big Apple. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You see that, the take right there, Danny? It's almost like the ball starts to come inside and it throws him off. You know, he's not taking the take right there, but when that ball starts on the inner part, it's almost like they're like, okay, it's a ball, and then pull off, and it's not. It's a strike right there. It just shows you how much they look out over the plate. I don't care what this guy's hitting. He is a dangerous, dangerous hitter.
For sure. 3-2 pitch.
Good pitch.
Shallow center. Bader. 2 away. Reminder that the MLB The Show 21 is available now on Xbox and Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Game Pass. Own your rivals, own the show. Rated E for everyone.
I just got my card upgraded on the Xbox.
Is that right?
Yes, I did. Don't even know what that means, but my son told me.
Okay, good. Got to take care of that, man.
I'm up to a 98. I think I'm getting better every year that I've retired.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
The older, what does they say? The older you get, the better you were.
And you get older, all of a sudden the numbers look a little better.
The folklore.
Yeah. Here's Aquino, the left fielder today for Cincinnati. And a ground ball right to Nolan Arenado. Good start for Happ. 6 up, 6 down. The young Bader Kisner coming up. It's 2-0. So last night, Paul DeJong got that foot down, everything in motion. And when you do that, you get to look at it. StatCast powered by Google Cloud, and a long home run, first since early August for the Cardinals shortstop. Good to see.
Yeah, that was a good swing. And then he had another good swing later in the game with a base hit to right. I'll tell you what, you're feeling pretty good when you can go deep and then you can hit a line drive the other way. Because that means you are kind of staying really on everything. And the only difference for me hitting the ball the other way and pulling the ball is just letting the ball get a little bit deeper. Your swing and stance and all that stuff doesn't change. You just start when you go to pull the ball, all you're doing is just rotating a little bit further and getting your hands out there. Otherwise, you just try to stay on everything until they give you something to hit.
And the 1-1 pitch. We saw DeJong go then the other way with a base hit to right as well in the game. Couple of hits. That home run is 17th. He's driven in 41. Reds with a shift on their infield. Left side. Outfield deep straight away. The 2-1 pitch. Popped up.
Oh, he just missed that.
Shallow center, and DeShields with the catch.
the Kia player profile, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Bader, 8 games against the Reds this year. Running numbers, 481 with 3 home runs. Mixed in some infield hits like last night. And look at the OPS. That is your Kia player profile.
Well, it's nice when you can hit a ball 450 feet and then you can squib one out in front of the plate and beat it out nice and easy. Can you imagine having that kind of power and that kind of speed? To be honest with you, I think
I want you to be honest with me.
Same amount of power that Tyler O'Neill does. He does. He literally has ridiculous power. He is just he has not figured out how to really hone it like O'Neill did this winter. And
really, you feel that Bader's got that kind of power? He hits
the ball just as far in batting practice. And I mean, you can hit the ball that far in batting practice, you can hit it that far in the game. He just hasn't really mastered staying on the ball like what O'Neill just figured out this last year.
I remember, I guess it was last year or the year before, we're doing a game and Bader was up, and you said to me, you know, Danny, he can hit 25 home runs. Talking about Bader.
Yeah, I think easy. I think he will too eventually.
Sticks the bat out into shallow right. That ball drops foul.
Oh, that was an easy double.
It's kind of like, though, the Colton Wong thing where, you know, Wong started having this success with power. And now we're seeing Wong hit the ball all over the place. You know, he sprays the ball. So is it necessarily a good thing that you want Bader to have that, or would you rather just keep growing like he's doing here?
I think you do a Tyler O'Neill where you struggle with the total plate package, and then all of a sudden the light kicks on. You know, you can talk about a lot of things, you know, and I think that's what happened to Colton Wong. And I said this before. Colton Wong, say 4 years ago, figured it out the last month. Then he came into spring training 3 years ago and started all over again and started yanking the ball and hitting home runs. Then at the end of that year, he started figuring it out again.
Castellanos with a catch in right.
And then the next year,
the double, maybe a triple.
It was triple, easy. And then Colton Wong the next year figured out the last 2 months, started hitting the ball over the yard, and then came in the next year in spring training and was still over swinging, and then it just clicked. And then that's what Tyler O'Neill did this winter. So now we see Colton Wong has turned into a total player, maybe less power, but he'll get it back. He'll start to figure it out. And then I think Bader's next. I really do. I think it's going to take him an entire winter to start working on hitting the ball the other way. And you have to be stubborn. That's the thing. When I would go home every year, I would hit off a pitching machine for 2 to 3 straight weeks and wouldn't pull one single pitch until I figured out how I wanted to approach that ball this year. And then I would work my way to the middle and then to pull. And I think that you just have to have that kind of mentality if you want to change. And it's just all about thought process and like learning how to accept and get the ball a little bit deeper.
Andrew Knizner at the plate. One ball and 2 strikes. Jay Happ on deck. Knizner a check swing and a foul ball. Knizner in his last start picked up a couple of hits and an RBI. That was against the Dodgers, and he takes a pitch high.
And Knizner's the same way. You know, he's been around now a little bit, but he battles because he was more of a pull hitter at the beginning, and then he's tried to hit the ball up the middle a couple times. You know, during different times during his career. So this is only his 3rd year up and down, but you saw last game he stayed on a bunch of pitches and hit the ball up the middle, but then he wants to go back and pull some home runs. So right there, you got to stay on balls a little bit longer, and it's just consistency and more at bats and more at bats.
First strikeout for Sonny Gray. Beautiful day here at Busch, 2-0.
Take you back to last night. Little baseball history. Combined no-hitter. Corbin Burnes with 8. Josh Hader the final inning. And the Brewers had their second no-hitter in franchise history. The other 1987. Maybe it's the year of Milwaukee because everything has gone right now for the Milwaukee Brewers.
If you're the manager, do you take out Corbin Burnes because he's got too many pitches, or if you bring in Hader, you're solidified that no-hitter?
Probably both.
Because he's so nasty. I was thinking that last night when I went home. I'm like, man, I'm bringing in Hader if I want to keep that no-hitter.
Well, it looked like in reading some of the comments that the decision for him was easy. But it had to be anything but. I mean, and Corbin Burnes seemed to be fine with it. I mean, they have bigger, grander plans of winning in postseason play. But, man, if you got a chance to get that.
Are you kidding? Having a no-hitter in the big leagues. Can you even imagine?
No. And I always go back to the Bud Smith one where Tony La Russa said, man, I was just hoping he'd give up a hit so I could get him out of there. But I'm not going to take him out if he has a shot at baseball history.
I mean, that's got to be up there at the top. I mean, it's like you win the World Series. I mean, throwing a no-hitter, winning a Cy Young. I mean, that's like hitting 4 or 5 home runs in a game. I just don't know if it's not fathomable for most guys. There's not very many guys out there that have no-hit stuff, first of all. And then you have to be perfect that day. And that's, it's just clearly how many no-hitters there are versus starts. I mean, it's insane.
That's Drupal Cabrera, the switch hitter. Zach Plesac, the first to pitch in 3 different no-hitters within a single season. He's on the opposite side, obviously, with Cleveland. And the no-hitter last night was the 9th in the major leagues. And that is the record for most no-hitters in a single season. Last time it was 1884 that had 8 no-hitters. So 1884 to 2021.
That might be more impressive with the pitcher on the other side, or less impressive because the same team and the same pitcher got no hit 3 times in 1 year.
By the way, the Indians, they're getting no hit right now too. Again.
Oh no.
That's in the 5th.
Oh no.
Hit sharply to third, backing up, settling and throwing. It is an error on Nolan Arenado. A rare error, but you could see he kind of settled, was flat-footed when he threw it. Man, that's a rare mistake by Nolan.
Well, that's very rare, and the only reason why he does this is because he practices it so much. He practices on throwing the ball from so many different angles. You can see this ball caught him a little bit, and then he just like, that's not a bad throw. Just throw it over there, and then just hang on to the ball a little bit too long. Happens to the best of them.
Well, according to Fangraphs, the Cardinals have 74 defensive runs saved, most in baseball. 40 outs above average, most in baseball. So the idea would be to throw strikes, let the opposition put the ball in play. This Happ looks in and trying to figure out where that pitch was to DeShields. Call the ball. I would think that is a point of emphasis for the Cardinals this offseason. They've got to find relievers in particular that throw strikes. Yeah, that ugly month of June hit at the end of May with the Flaherty injury, and nothing went right in that month. But a lot of it was due to the fact that they just did not throw strikes, and you have those walks, it opens up big innings. DeShields reunited with his father, who played here in St. Louis. He's the first base coach of the Cincinnati Reds. And Junior is 0 for his last 10 with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Lionel DeShields, good player, longtime major leaguer. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-2. Thank goodness for the second wild card. If not, the Padres, these two teams, the Reds, Cardinals, have nothing really to play for at this point. Mets and Phillies would be in the division race as DeShields lifts a fly ball into right field. No tag. I think it's been good for baseball.
Well, yeah. I mean, you just brought, what, 4 or 5 teams into contention, basically, at the end of this season right now. And I mean, what's not exciting about that? And the cool thing is, I think, is they're all over the country. You know, you're talking Philly, St. Louis, San Diego. Everyone's playing for something.
Yep.
All different areas.
Well, this is bunted towards Nolan Arenado. He's going to try to get 2.
Oh, he's coming. He's going to crash for sure.
He's going to try to atone for the error.
You got to get that guy off the bases when you think about it. When you're playing defense, whenever you make an error, you want to make sure that that guy does not score, because that is on you. And I'll tell you, all the way out in center field, it's the same thing. You're just like, please, somebody get this one guy off the bases.
Arenado charging. Gray squared to bunt, then pulled back and takes a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out and a runner at first.
He didn't want to bunt. I mean, not comfortable with that bunt. I'll tell you what.
And the 1-2 pitch to Sonny Gray. And we're close as he strikes out. So Jay Happ, first time through the lineup, no walks, no hits, and has struck out 3. Cardinals host the Padres, and that'll be Friday. Reunion of the 2011 World Championship team all weekend long. And Friday night, the Cardinals beanie giveaway, courtesy of Brown and Crouppen. So 2 outs. Cabrera is at first base, and that pitch taken for a ball. Jonathan India started our ball game, flying out to Harrison Bader in center. And the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nice crowd on this Sunday afternoon here at Busch Stadium.
Especially for what they think is supposed to be a hot one.
And the 1-1. Crowd last night was above 30,000. There's tickets sold, and then there's folks in the ballpark. And there's a difference. Cardinals are in the top 6 or 7 still in Major League Baseball in tickets sold, as India hits it down the left field line, but foul. And there's all kinds of different variables as to why the crowds have been down. Certainly COVID is one of them.
School again.
Yeah. But this is not just, but I mean, this is not just a St. Louis thing. I mean, this is
everywhere.
Yeah, across the board.
Tell you what, I've been watching India right here. He looks like he's locked in. He's got a really good approach as far as he's getting towards the plate, and he's getting pitches that he can handle. And I was watching the at-bats last night against Michaelis when I got home. It was at the home run, and he really took some good pitches. And the pitch that he hit was a cutter. I thought it was a fastball or breaking ball. It was more of a cutter out over the plate. But it looked like he kind of was just waiting for something out over the plate. And you can see he kind of dips a little bit and he tries to launch.
He has hit safely in 7 of his last 9, and that includes 3 home runs since the All-Star break. He's got 14 home runs, 7th most in the National League. Short lead at first. Goldie playing behind him. He'll run with this pitch. The 3-2. That'll drop in for a base hit. Cabrera to second and has to stop there. He got a terrible jump on 3-2, and there he is at second base. How does that happen? Should be at third.
Could have been easily at third. As far as the defense is concerned, I think they're playing on the warning track. They're playing no doubles in this situation. I mean, take a look at how deep Bader is right here. That's unbelievable for him not to be able to get to third base.
Well, you're running with the pitch. I mean, it's not like you're going to stop to see it's going to be caught. Cardinals will take it. Runners at first and second. Tyler Stevenson coming up. And Stevenson was called out on strikes his first time up, hitting .253 with runners in scoring position. So 2 outs and 2 on, and a ground ball that's hit to short, and a flip and a force at second base. No damage done following the air by Nolan Arenado. We move to the bottom of the third. It's 2-0. AT&T coverage cam and the T-Mobile coverage cam here in St. Louis. We're at Busch Stadium on this Sunday afternoon. So Sonny Gray back to work. Nolan Arenado with a 2-run homer in this ball game. It's Jay Happ, Tommy Edman, and Goldie coming up. One ball and one strike. And a ground ball hit to second baseman Jonathan India. One away.
Not a bad swing right there. I'll tell you what happened. These guys can, these pitchers can swing the bat a little bit. Just, you know, move runners around. You don't have to get a hit every time, but when you need a runner moved or they can bunt, they can hit. Just not going to do anything special.
Adam Wainwright, 15-game winner, going tomorrow against Rich Hill, who is 6-6. Waino 15-7. We'll be on the air at 5:30 with the pregame show on Valley Sports Midwest. Edman bounced back to Sonny Gray.
Danny
That
Cleveland
pitch
just
taken for a ball.
Cleveland just got their first hit off of Eric Lauer.
Lauer with the distance against the Cardinals last Saturday. Then tomorrow you have two of the oldest pitchers. I believe they are the two oldest. Maybe Pujols would be older than Rich Hill. I'm not positive. I have to look it up. But two of the oldest pitchers squaring off tomorrow, and Rich Hill and Adam Wainwright. The 2-1 pitch. It tails back in. 2-2. Every pitch, even to Jay Happ.
Yeah, he's grunting away. 5'10", 195 pounds, and he is letting it fly with the best of his ability.
And the 3-2 pitch. Held on to by Tyler Stevenson. And strikeout number 2 for Sonny Gray. 3-2 breaking ball here.
It's a really good pitch right there. Straight over the top. 12-6. Nasty. That straight down action is tough to put in play.
Now Paul Goldschmidt. Inside corner, strike 1. Paul Goldschmidt is 1 for 19 against Sonny Gray.
Really?
Yeah, most of the numbers we always put up. He hits this team well. He's got good numbers against this guy. Well, this is one that he has struggled with, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's just some guys out there that you just don't pick the ball up. You know, like they just get underneath you sometimes, or they just have your number. And you know, and it's weird as I had a thing with Andy Pettit. I thought I saw the ball great against him and swung the bat well. And Tony said, "Do you want to play today?" one time, and I said, "Yeah, why not?" He said, "You're 0 for 11 off them." I said, "What? Really?" Would have never thought that. And so I got in the when I got in the game, I bared down extra. You know, I'm like, this guy's not going to keep getting me out. And I said that over and over this year, talking about the relievers, even the relievers on our team. When you are doing well, hitters get tired of it. They get tired of you getting them out, so they're going to make an adjustment somehow, some way.
The 2-2. It's slowly left side. And a 1-2-3 for Sonny Gray. So after the home run, he's retired 7 in a row. Castellanos due up first when we come back. Download the McDonald's app. Grab a $1 any size frozen beverage every game day. Valid April 1st through October 3rd on every Cardinals home or away game. Well, thanks to Nolan Arenado, the A has been knocked out in Big Mac land. And the folks at McDonald's going to have to patch it up.
Maybe they should have a little game that if someone knocks out a light, they'll give away some fries or something. It doesn't quite get up into Big Mac land.
I think if it hits off of Big Mac land, or certainly if it goes in there, then you're going to get your Big Macs.
Do you remember being a kid and going to McDonald's and playing the Monopoly game? That used to be my favorite. That kind of reminded me of that right there. See if you can hit more than one letter in a game. Little Monopoly.
How did you go from knocking the A out to the Monopoly game?
I was thinking like they had to have a giveaway that if you know, it's almost like playing Scrabble up there, trying to knock the letters off. And I remember Monopoly. Well, McDonald's Monopoly. I was never very good at the other one. I don't really know if when you go around the board, if you're supposed to buy everything you land on, or if you're supposed to wait and be strategic. And so I've always hated the game. But by the way, that is the God's honest truth too. I feel like people that buy everything end up with everything and win. Kind of like real life, right?
I was going to say.
More stuff you buy and own, the more stuff you win. More people paying your rent. I had to pay too much rent in Monopoly. I was just tired of it.
You got any other thoughts?
That was my thought for the day. That was my Toyota thought for the day. My McDonald's thought for the day.
What's the Toyota key to the game?
Well,
it's
that's
Big
what I
Mac
meant.
land.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. The Toyota key to the game is hit the ball in the Big Mac land.
Yeah, I think we have a new sponsorship idea. Jimmy's McDonald's thought of the day. There's going to be some good ones.
Oh, man.
Doesn't have to be with baseball.
I don't even really like the key of the day too much. It's a lot of work some days.
Well, I know you put try to be effort into it.
You try to be careful. You know, you don't want to like jinx anybody or call attention to anybody's game, and then the next thing you know, you tell them to keep the ball in the yard, and the guy hits the next pitch out of the stadium.
But that's,
like the first night.
You didn't jinx him Jimmy, that whatever you say does not jinx what happens.
Well, that's true. It kind of works that way some days. They would beg to differ down there sometimes, I think.
Well, fans would.
We would get mad at you when you'd ever say something like that.
Oh.
So I'm kidding.
Get out of here with that. You guys got mad at me for everything. Which makes me think about the time in Montreal again. You aired me out, Jimmy.
I still can't get over the.
You don't remember it, you said.
Jimmy the Cat and Billy Hole thing was really good. When he was with Milwaukee.
Yeah, that happened.
What did he say? The Brewers were overrated?
Oh, it was something like that. It was opening of the stadium, and Jimmy had a message on the video board, and well,
Billy Hall looked at the catch and said, "Who the heck is that?"
Well, it was a message in which he was trying to be funny, which Jimmy is, and that was, but in the framework of competition, it wasn't looked on very kindly
by the visitors. Or by everyone.
Both. Ooh, doesn't get that call.
Wow.
Okay, we have got the Caribbean, and you could sail it, Jimmy. You should be a part of this because
up to
Cardinal Hall of Famers Ray Langford, John Tudor, alumni Danny Cox, Brian Jordan. It's going to go through the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, the Dominican. Space is limited. Visit cardinals.com/cruise today. And that's January 23rd. That was a 10-pitch at bat by Castellanos and a check swing foul ball into the dugout of the Reds off the bat of Joey Votto. I just try to follow along with you, Jimmy, and fill in the blanks every once in a while.
Well, there's a lot of those.
See what direction you're going to take us. Good pitch. 0-2. As you can tell, I have let go of that incident in Montreal with you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Let that go. That was like a high school locker room.
Oh my gosh.
In Montreal. Yeah.
It was dark and
nasty.
Dirty, and the floor was like, I felt like you couldn't take your shoes off in there. It was like walking outside.
I was going to say it was dark and dirty and nasty. And you could make the case that was the playing surface too. It was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. I didn't mind playing there though. I didn't mind playing on turf. I felt like it gave you a little kind of a half day off as far as how much your legs took abuse. I felt like you could just run so much more free and easy.
I got to wonder if Vlad Guerrero winds up being a Hall of Famer if he stays in Montreal. And I say that only because, not because of his talent and ability, but could he stay on the field because his back, it was like playing on concrete.
Yeah.
So would his body allowed him to continue to play there? There's a strikeout of Joey Votto in number 4.
Good slider right there. And Montreal became the fish, right? Miami? Yeah.
Let's see.
Because the spring training just flipped out, it felt like.
It was actually Washington.
It ended up going to Washington, but Miami switched with spring training facilities with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we used to have Montreal next to us.
Right.
When I first started playing. And then
okay,
when Montreal disappeared, I was saying, like, Miami took over their spot in spring training. I don't know why, I just couldn't think of that made sense that they just went from that organization to the next organization.
One pitch here to Suarez. Lines it into right. Catch made by Carlson. Back to the bag at first goes Castellanos.
Tell you what, that's a cool thing though, huh? You go from Montreal to Washington, D.C. Kind of made me think of, you remember Rosie, the visiting clubhouse guy?
And he was a huge hockey fan.
Yeah, and
his son was a very good player.
Yes, but I just remember, in Montreal, he kind of just sat there and like did his job, and then he went to D.C. and all of a sudden, pictures of presidents and all these famous people with them. Quite a change of scenery.
Off the end of the bat, taken there by Edman. 4 scoreless put up so far for Jay Happ. O'Neill, Arenado, Carlson coming up. Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest, brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. And by Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com. Here's Tyler O'Neill, shift on the left side, and the first pitch taken for a strike. O'Neill singled to left with 2 outs. Back in the first, brought in by a Nolan Arenado home run. Gets underneath this one, popped up into shallow left. Aquino with the catch in the first out. So it's a 2-out, 2-run homer for Nolan Arenado off the Big Mac Land sign, which then turned Jimmy into thinking about Monopoly.
Well, you know what I love about this home run right here is he was getting beat a little bit by fastballs, and it was bothering him. And then you can see the breaking ball that he hit last night, and he's been hitting some off-speed pitches, but that's a great feeling when you can get to a fastball on time and hit it that pure. It's amazing that he can stay on the breaking ball as well as he does. And then he knows he can get to the fastball. He just, like, talking to him the other day, he just sometimes worries about getting beat. And I said, you know what, sometimes you just swing, you think so much about trying to do things, then it takes you out of your game. Start swinging at pitches you normally wouldn't swing at. I think he's just trying to press so hard because of, still his first year. He's trying to impress everyone. He's, the game is trying to take the game to the game and not letting it come to him as much. And I think he just kind of pushes a little bit too hard. Sometimes he's got to sit back and relax and let it happen.
What if he was pressing to get to 30? Now that he's gotten it, could take off. The 1-1.
It's really funny. I've spoken to him a lot this year. Never mentioned a stat yet.
But he will talk about certain things that have given him trouble. There's never, I don't know, it's interesting. Nobody really admits that they want to get to a certain spot. Clearly he wants to get to 30. I'd love to see him get to 40. But
oh boy,
that's the worst. That's the worst of all times. That makes me more mad than anything on this planet. The guy throws the ball at you and you get a swing. It's a joke.
I think Mike Schilt has been ejected. You cannot argue balls and strikes. And so the manager is going to go out and talk it over with Doug Eddings, the crew chief.
I'll tell you.
Be able to get his money's worth now. Let's take a look here.
Well, this is one of the most scariest thing as a hitter, right? So check that out. The ball almost hits him in the shoulder, which is really close to your face. But you're starting your swing because you're seeing a fastball. There's no way that you can do anything but get out of the way right there. And that's your swing. And yeah, he did go technically. That is the most frustrating thing ever as a hitter.
I could hear it with our microphones. He was saying, I'm trying to get out of the way. I'm trying to get out of the way.
You almost got your face ripped off, and then it's a swing. But
it's a strike. I mean,
it is. It's technically a strike, but I'll tell you what. Sometimes you would just wish that they would give you a break. Look out here.
Well, I thought we were told somebody was just ejected. And apparently it was not Mike Schilt, because he's still sitting in the dugout. So Arenado having words quickly with the first base umpire.
Well, the umpire was kind of pointing towards the middle of the bench, so I was curious to see who was going to end up walking out.
Yeah, I mean, you may not like it, but hey, that's.
I'm just telling you, as a hitter,
yeah.
you got to think about it like the ball is coming at your face, and you've just barely started to swing, but because you're trying to get out of the way, the bat keeps coming. It's just not one of those things you want to see as a hitter.
Wouldn't think. All of a sudden, Sonny Gray has gotten locked in. That's 9 in a row. And Dylan Carlson 0 for 1 with a fly out to right.
A lot of breaking balls now.
Head to head, he's 2 for 10 against Gray. It's softly to the right side, taken there by Votto. Gray to the bag in a 1-2-3 inning. We ended the 5th. 2-0 Cardinals.
Cards lead the Reds 2-0 as we go to the 5th. Dakota Hudson will make another rehab start at Springfield later on this evening. It's rehab start number 4 for Dakota as he makes his way back from Tommy John surgery. Mike Schultz said Hudson is scheduled to make one more rehab start after today, and that one will be for Memphis before they look at bringing him back to the big club. Schultz says right now Hudson would probably work out of the pen upon his return, but Dan Schultz says that could change.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. As Cabrera grounds to short. And the first out here in the 5th. And it brings in Delino DeShields with the pitcher to follow. Shields fly to right first time up. Well, Jay Happ has been really good so far here today. 1 hit allowed. He has struck out 4 and walked 1, no runs.
You know, he's done a really nice job of pitching in when he needs to, but keeping the ball down the other times and being able to go in and out, in and out. And that's all you can do, and all you can ask is keeping the hitters on their toes, making them think about what's coming versus being able to react and just lean on one side of the plate.
Goldschmidt is in at first. Arenado is in a few steps at third. 2 balls and no strikes. Thinking about maybe the bunt here with the Shields. He's got good speed. Outfield is straight away. The 2-0 pitch. Now 3-0. Three balls, 1 strike. Sonny Gray on deck. Cardinals will have DeYoung, Bader, Kisner looking ahead to the home half of this inning. Colorado has come back. They have a 3-2 lead over the Phillies. That's in the bottom of the 6th. Out to center, backing up, making the catch, Harrison Bader, and that's 2 away. Join the Blues and Bally Sports Midwest. Pedal the cause September 25th and the 26th. And help fight cancer. The first 50 riders on the Blues Can't Stop Colin team receive a complimentary registration. For more info, how to sign up, make a donation, stlouisblues.com/pedal. Sonny Gray tried to bunt, sacrifice back in the 3rd inning and struck out.
I think that the pitch count for both of these guys is pretty low still. He just hit 70 right there. But to keep him around for a little bit.
Rounder coming in, making the play. Tommy Edman, not an easy play. Another ground ball out. Cardinals on top.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the content descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Wainwright made his major league debut against the Mets in 2005. That was at Busch Stadium 2, his only appearance at that ballpark, and then became a postseason hero the following year, which included the famous strikeout against New York, and he's still dealing. The Budweiser once on tap. Bueno against the Mets. And we'll have all 3 games for you on Bally Sports Midwest.
As if he needs another reason to take it to another level. He's going to New York. How great would that be? Right at the end of your career, pushing for a playoff spot, and you get to go start in New York.
Appeared in 3 games of the 06 NLCS as a rookie against the Mets. Earned saves in both games 5 and the series clinching game 7. And that famous strikeout of Carlos Beltran, and he's back in New York. And let's just assume he's going to be back for one more go-round with Yachty in 2022. I'm going to go ahead and assume that, even though nothing is official. Now, he did say, I want to play because his family said that, but then you got to work out all the negotiations and whatnot.
I mean, to tell you the truth, like, I saw Jenny the other day, and they got a little basketball team going on full of girls, but the girls gotta love it. Like, my kids loved it. Like, why would, you know, go Dad, keep going, this is fun. Then we get to spend the summers in St. Louis, and you know, you're doing such a great thing. Like, I mean, I can't imagine them getting any pullback at all from home.
There's a pitch taken low by DeYoung. And you stay relevant as a major league player with his big league impact endeavor.
Raise all kinds of money. He's doing such a nice job, though. I mean, with everything, every aspect of everything in life, on and off the field, family, helping, raising money for charity. I mean, he is a perfect role model.
1 ball, 1 strike on DeYoung. Fly to center first time up. Sonny Gray gave up a single with 2 outs in the first to Tyler O'Neill. And then a 2-out, 2-run homer to Dolan Arenado. Since then, no hits, no walks. This will be 11 in a row. Grounded to short. The batter is Bader. Cardinals Budweiser teaming up to invite fans to a Friday game. This Friday, First Beer Fridays are on sale now, just $15. You purchase a game ticket, you get an ice cold Budweiser. For details, visit cardinals.com/Friday today. And San Diego will be in town beginning on Friday night. Reunion of the 2011 squad. Told nearly 40 of those players will be back. Conjure up memories. You're going to say, oh, yeah, that guy, I forgot he was on that team.
Every year,
yeah,
you go through that.
Some played major roles, others were role players.
You know, I thought was cool the other day. I saw a picture of our team. You know, that picture that we did in the locker room, and you see a couple of faces, and you're like, oh, yeah, like you just said, and you're on my team. And then you've been looking at the 11 and 13 teams, you forget now, because I was then a fan, that guys came through here for a year or two.
2-0 on Bader. Hit one to deep right field. It was caught by Castellanos on a nice play his first time up. Alex Reyes throwing in the St. Louis pen. Be a similar situation to what we saw the other day with Mike Schilt. Breaking ball and a beauty in there.
That's exactly why I don't like the take on the 2-0 swing right there. The 2-0 pitch. You know now he's going to go to the breaking ball.
Well, the point would be, Mike did this the other day, that if your pitcher comes up, you're going to hit for him, and if not, maybe he goes back out there. And now Bader swings and misses. Strikeout number 3. Happ right now is through 5. And you've got analytics will tell you third time through a lineup, don't let that starter face him. Now, different pitchers have different rules, it seems like. Adam Wainwright would be one of them, but with Happ, that might be the case.
It's a good breaking ball right there. Wow, that's a straight over the top breaking ball again. Can't help but to think that sometimes the players today don't think through the game as well or as much as they had to in the past, because with all the cards and all the stuff that they can just look at really quick, doesn't give them, and you know, it's almost like having an imagination, you know, doesn't give them any imagination to play the game, doesn't give them any thought process. It's all just kind of robotic. And I don't know, sometimes when I see guys take pitches that when you know a fastball is coming and you know the guy's got a breaking ball that's tough to hit, sometimes it boggles my mind.
It's 13 in a row by Sonny Gray in a 2-0 St. Louis lead. Jay Happ back out there for the 6th, but through 5. He's been awfully good for the Cardinals today. He's allowed just 1 hit. Our BJC Healthcare difference maker, the starter, Jay Happ. Now, third time through a lineup, the opposition hitting .339 against Happ. His spot is due up first for St. Louis in the home half of this inning.
The thing I think about that is, you know, he struggled a little bit this year. His ERA is, you know, still in the 6s, but he's a guy that we've seen when he's pitching well, he's pitching well. And when he's not pitching well, it's because he's missing. He's walking a few guys, but he's throwing the ball down the middle. Today, he's not throwing the ball down the middle as much. So I'm thinking that the third time of the around is not going to be as big of a deal as it can be in the past. And if any indication of that, it's that first pitch right there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Luis Garcia throwing for St. Louis in the pen, which maybe indicates that if you would have had Happ's spot come up, you pinch hit, and then Alex Reyes would give you multiple innings. So that's kind of how he's being used now. Reyes more than just that 1 inning, potentially. And Garcia is more of a 1-inning guy.
So it's interesting because, you know, we talked about being able to pitch a little bit more than just a closer can maybe work with some of the stuff that he's been struggling with. And he's thrown 4 times again, you know, this week. And so he's gotten some opportunities to go out there and pitch, and I think that's the only way he's going to get back to where he wants to be, is just to keep pitching, pitch through the issues and find different things to get you through innings. Hard to do it when the spotlight's on you in the 9th inning all the time.
Lifted in the air, deep center. Bader spun around with room and makes the catch.
India is 1 for 3. Tyler Stevenson 0 for 2.
This is that swing I was telling you about, Danny. He just kind of has this nice little approach and tries to unload.
Good looking player, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's got some pop. You know, he doesn't. You know what's really funny is he looks kind of small compared to some of these guys. He's 6 foot 200 pounds. Like,
yeah,
he's not a small guy.
Stevenson is over his last 8 with a couple of strikeouts. And the 0-1 pitch. And the other aspect, obviously, and we've talked about it a lot with Alex Reyes, is multiple innings, more innings, and building up potentially as a starter for next year, trying to bank as many as you can, but you're trying to win games too. That's the bottom line here.
I would love to have that. You've said that a couple times, and so like we talk about, I'm in the moment. You've been seeing so much that you're kind of more like the manager version. And do you really, I look at it differently. I don't know, do you really try to build somebody up in, say, September, October, or September, obviously?
Well, he's thrown so few innings. I guess you're just trying to get more innings going forward to build him up more so than
you would be as just a one-inning guy or a closer. You know?
And I think it's experience is what he needs, and I think maybe we're just talking the same thing but two different ways. But I was curious, like, because only reason I'm saying this is I think as a player, like for me, and what I would think a pitcher would do is you would just go home anyways and shut it completely down. You got to rest. So that's why I was bringing that up. Like, I'm wondering if that's really a thing, because you can't go and keep throwing through the winter. There's just no way. I don't think you can. It's like you can't work out through the whole winter. You can't run through the whole winter. You got to give your body some rest.
Going to have a double switch coming up here with Nick Castellanos, the batter, due up. Garcia had been throwing, and Edmundo Sosa hopping out of the dugout. He'll take over at short. So he'll come in for Paul DeJong. Mike Schilt makes the move, and Garcia coming in. Here you can get 100% MLB verified tickets easier than ever. StubHub, the official partner of the Cardinals, and they offer the widest selection of seats and prices. You can even look up your seat view before you purchase, so you know the view of the field. Tickets available on StubHub up until the first pitch. Luis Garcia, Chevy called to the pen. 23 consecutive scoreless innings.
This guy has been incredible, to say the least.
Here's Castellanos swinging on the first pitch in a high fly ball. No tag by Stevenson. Catch made by Bader, and there's two away. Part of the double switch, Edmundo Sosa. So he goes into the 9th position of the St. Louis lineup. And Garcia, the pitcher spot in the Young spot, which was 6th. Votto 2 for 4 head-to-head matchups with the Cardinal right-hander. That includes a double shift on the right side of the infield.
First pitch to Joey Votto from Luis Garcia. Swung on and fouled back.
This is one of those situations as a reliever that's when you need that secondary pitch to drop in there for a strike. Because against these two guys, 3 and 4 in this lineup, you got to be careful with that fastball no matter how hard you throw.
Check swing, and he went 0-2.
I think especially on the first pitch, you'd be cheating a little bit, knowing that you don't want to go in deeper. Yeah, you have to. That's what I'm saying. But that's really basically the only time you can really do that, because you get into the rhythm, and you can see what he just did right there to Joey. Something small and tight and down, and then you're overcommitting because of that velocity.
And Joey Votto clearly a little unhappy with that. Fans in the green seats getting their money's worth today to be inside the game.
And you at home too. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So you want to a major leaguer.
The sights and sounds of the old ballpark. Peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jack.
And how many different ways can you line this up?
1 ball, 2 strikes on Joey Votto.
You don't have a 5-second delay anymore,
no,
do we?
No. So that's outside, 2-2. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Votto flips the bat, flips the helmet. Strands a runner. Garcia continues his mastery coming out of the St. Louis pen. Man, has this guy been good. 2-0 midway through 6.
Combined 4 hits in the ball game, which includes a 2-run Nolan Arenado homer. Sonny Gray is retired now. 13 in a row after the home run hit by Arenado in the first.
And Edmundo Sosa, part of the double switch. Cardinals do not have anybody up in the bullpen. Garcia primarily has been that guy that gives you maybe to clean up an inning, which he just did, or just 1 inning of work. And we'll see if they extend him today. Check swing, and he did go. It's only 7 pitches for Garcia.
Say, yeah.
Out of play.
I think it's kind of interesting over the years where certain guys can't start an inning, or certain guys can't come in the middle of the inning, or not say can't, but don't like it or don't do as well, or certain guys can't go back out there after an inning. And by the way, every one of those situations are down in that bullpen. You just don't know it, but they know it. And so sometimes when we say, well, I wonder if he's going to do this, they already know that he is or his because of the kind of person that he is. So I always find it interesting when you're inside the game to know that they won't let certain guys do certain things because they're just not successful at it.
Broken bat, the bat carried all the way out to short, and the catch made by Votto. 14 in a row here for Sonny Gray. And while we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
While you're focused on what really matters, we're focused on making your journey a little easier. Great Southern Bank, rated the #1 bank in America by our customers, according to Forbes.
Is it me, or is the broken bat situation kind of
coming up a little bit more?
Yeah, a lot more. I don't remember too many bats flying all year, and all of a sudden the dry wood is coming out. You know what it is? The lighter the wood, the less obviously dense it is at the same size bat, and they're getting a little bit, maybe, I wouldn't say cheaper wood, but sometimes it's just not made as well.
Well, that snaps 14 in a row, the base hit by Tommy Edman. And he now has reached base in every game against the Cincinnati Reds this year.
I think you got to turn him loose.
Talked about it the other day where some of these players, you get into September, lighter bats. Trying to finish up this long summer. Tommy Edman leaning at first, now running, and the throw down to second is not in time. Stolen base. Tommy Edman, that's 6th straight now without being caught, in 25 on the year.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, it's hard to run every time and every first pitch, but I think when you have a guy like Goldie up, you got to try to do it in the first pitch if your times are in your favor. You can see that was a great throw down there by Stevenson, but still just a little too quick by Tommy.
Base stealers 8 for 8 when Gray is on the mound now.
Tommy Edman tied with Fernando Tatis Jr. second in the National League with 25 steals. 2 balls and no strikes. The league leader is Trey Turner, 26. So before it's all said and done, Tommy Pham could lead the league in doubles and steals before this season is through. What a year for Tommy Edman. He's thinking about running again. Ooh, and if he started, he would have. He was ready to go.
Well, you know that they do a lot of research, and there's guys out there that once they look towards home plate, they're not going to come back to you, but they'll hold, but he doesn't want to throw. Might have been a design play. So he'll look at you, and then once he turns his head.
So it's a pattern.
Yeah, it's interesting in the meetings, right? So there's all kinds of guys now, and this is stuff that we didn't have back when I played, that it's a guy like this, let's just say, when he's looking at third base, he might look back at you, but as soon as he takes his attention towards home, he's done. So what they try to do is they try to stop in the middle, but you start picking up on that too. And like I said, once he'll look, then he'll stop, and then once he goes to home plate, you know, he's trying to vary it up too, but there's always a guy that just falls into such a pattern that's when you get a big jump and go, because you know he's not going to throw back behind you.
First walk issued by Gray. Runners at first and second, Tyler O'Neill. Cardinals 14 times they have led the league in stolen bases since 1950. But it's only two players, Lou Brock and Vince Coleman. Tommy Edman with those 25 steals. That's the most by a Cardinal since Tommy Pham at 25 in 2017. And then you have to go back to 2004. And he proved to be a really good addition for the club. Tony Womack at 26 in 2004.
I get a point.
You knew that.
I did.
So no one throwing in the Reds bullpen. Sonny Gray at 71 pitches. And the Cardinals now a little activity here in the bottom of the sixth. Get something going after being shut down after that first. You know, Jimmy, you think about areas this time of year and looking forward, certainly you're thinking about the now too, but an area that Tyler O'Neill could take his all-around game to just even another level is runners in scoring position. He's hitting 194, 19 for 98.
Well, I'm wondering if that sometimes is walks too. He doesn't want to give up on the runners in scoring position and won't take, you know, the walk trying to do it yourself. And sometimes that gets out there and gets in your mind.
But to your point, he's only got 8 in this spot.
Albert was a lot like that, except for he could hit. So, you know, if there was a guy on third, you could bet he was going to swing the bat no matter what. He was going to pick a pitch, wasn't going to let them walk him. And that is why he was so good at driving in runs. Not good for the on-deck hitter, but good for the hitter. But that's just a mindset, right? Like you either, like as a lefty, you're going to get more walks in the situation where you're going to get pitched around from right-handers. And as a righty, you're probably going to get challenged a little bit more. But even a guy like Albert gets challenged with a lefty on deck, say. And then sometimes, you know, he was just going to do whatever he could to drive that run in. Especially with the guy on third.
2 strikes on O'Neill. Tony Santillan, right-hander, begins to throw for Cincinnati. And the 1-2 pitch by Gray. Off the plate.
I think, too, as a hitter, the day that you start to realize that you're the guy, you know, that you've gone to the next level, and you start to realize, oh, maybe they are trying to walk me, versus you just think you're the same guy. Like, take Tyler O'Neill, for example. He's having a great year. Everyone knows he can hit a ball out of the ballpark. But as himself, he's just that guy from Canada just up here trying to make a living. And so he thinks, oh, they're going to pitch to me right here, you know, and then that's when you figure that out, that's when you start to take your walks, and that's when your numbers start to go up with runners in scoring position.
The 2-2. Ooh. Foul back by O'Neill. Well, once you get past O'Neill, you got Arenado, Carlson, then the pitcher spot. So if O'Neill would get aboard, sure Mike Schopp might get somebody up and throwing just in case. Has not had anybody up this inning. The 2-2 pitch.
Arenado, who is homered, is on deck. And you know Sonny Gray does not want to deal with Nolan with the bases loaded. He's starting to get locked in. So really good opportunity here for Tyler O'Neill.
Curious to see what he's going to do right here, because it would tell you breaking ball.
Went with a fastball, and Tyler was thinking that too.
Yep.
Strikeout number 4 for Sonny Gray.
It's a good pitch right there. He threw it away. I think he threw Tyler a lot of fastballs in, and that gets your eyesight in. You can always adjust on the breaking ball, but you can't look in and then try to adjust to the fastball away. If you got, you think right there was perfect example of how to pitch, guys. Went fastball in, breaking balls away, fastball in and up by your face. And then so everyone's thinking either fastball in, which you can look for that, and stay on the breaking ball. But then he just goes fastball away and locks you up.
Arenado now 5 for 11, couple of home runs. With that home run back in the first, it came with 2 outs. He's got 45 2-out RBI this year, and that's second most in Major League Baseball. Adam Duvall with 49. Last night it came with 2 outs. In the first it was 2 outs, and 2 outs here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dylan Carlson on deck.
Genesis Cabrera begins to toss in the St. Louis bullpen. Didn't get that call, and Gray not happy about it. That's a big swing pitch there from 1-2 now to 2-1, and he's got a little smile on his face.
There was Stevenson. Look at him.
May have fooled everybody.
That's interesting too, because Stevenson didn't even pull it down. He just kept his glove close to his body and let it come down on its own. Normally when you pull it down is when you catch the umpire off guard, he'll call it a ball, but he sat there and waited for it. That's a really nice job of catching that high breaking ball.
Another breaking ball lifted in the air to center. The Shields under it, makes the catch. Cardinals get 2 on, but can't catch in. 2-0 St. Louis.
To the 7th in St. Louis, Cards up 2-0. Jake Woodford set to make another start on Tuesday on the road against the Mets. He's pitched very well since his latest recall from Memphis. The 24-year-old right-hander threw 4 innings of 1-run ball in a start against LA. Before that, it was 5 1/3 scoreless relief work against Milwaukee as he came in early for KK. Jake told me Mike Schilt refers to how they use me as a fluid role, so I've adapted and I'm ready for anything they need me to do. Jake is pitching well, but there have been some ups and downs this season. Danny, Jake says he always remembers what Mike Maddox told him. It's only a bad outing if you don't learn anything from it.
Interesting perspective for sure, and correct. Try to build on the good and the bad.
Well, you got to learn. You get to learn from both, actually. What works, what doesn't work. How do you fix it? I think that's why Adam Wainwright's been so good for so long. I think his brain works. When he's out there, he remembers, he works on things, he attempts to try new things once in a while, and he's been doing it for a long time, and it's been working.
Suarez is fly to center, lined out to right. Reds with 2 hits in this game.
The 2-1 pitch.
Strike zone's gotten a little bit smaller here. Not that that was a strike, but I think that first pitch was pretty good. I have to say that Garcia doesn't go out there a whole lot for a second inning, because he's got 24 innings and only 24 2/3. I'm sorry, he's got 24 appearances, only 24 2/3 innings. So pretty much just a one-inning guy, like you said.
Suarez hitting 186 against the righties this year. So he's leading it off here in the top of the 7th. Aquino and then Cabrera after him.
3-2 pitch by Garcia. He got him. 98 and struck him out. His second strikeout today.
That's what you get with that sinker right there. He started out over the plate. Hitter starts to go for it, and then just the run down and back to the middle. No chance.
Max Schrock, the former Cardinal. Pinch hitting here. Started in left field last night. And he's pinch hitting for Aquino. First pitch. And a ball inside. Every level he's played at, he has hit. Did so in the minor leagues for St. Louis. Showing a little pop here in the big leagues. And there's a base hit to left.
There's no question that he can hit.
All 3 hits by the Reds today have been singles. And a pitching change coming up. TJ McFarland has been getting loose. And so he got, Garcia did, Castellanos, then struck out Votto, struck out Suarez, base hit by Schrock. Switch hitter Cabrera due up, and McFarland coming in.
September 19th, that's a week from today. The Cardinals and the Padres, 30,000 fans ages 16 and older, take home a hat highlighting Cardinals third baseman Nolan Arenado. It's courtesy of Nathan's Famous. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. So Cabrera, the switch hitter, is 0 for 2 today. Reached on an error by Nolan Arenado. Back in the third, grounded out to short. McFarland used in these spots in particular, especially after the injury to Ryan Helsley, inherited runners, and he's got that good sinker and gets ground balls. Room on the right side of the infield, and the first pitch kept in front by Kisner, ball 1. The Cardinals made the additions of Garcia, McFarland. The idea was at that point we need guys that could throw some strikes coming out of the bullpen, and those two have emerged as two of the better relievers for the Cardinals this year.
Well, like I said the other day, you pretty much know what you're going to get when you bring in TJ. You know he's going to keep the ball down.
That's pulled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You're going to give up hits. You're going to take losses here and there, but you know the consistency of it gives you a better chance for ground balls, and he's going to keep the ball down. He's not one of those guys who's going to overthrow and accidentally throw 2 or 3 fastballs up in the zone for, 3 or 4 quick runs. And so you like what you have when you know that that's the outcome. Now, whether he can do it every time, it's hard to do, but at least you know that the effort and the consistency should be there.
Rockies 5-3. That's in the bottom of the 8th over the Phillies. Philadelphia just a half game back of St. Louis. Cardinals 2 back of the Reds. Here's a 1-1 pitch. There's your ground ball. Arenado. The turn. It's a double play. 5-4-3. Good work again, TJ McFarland.
Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest, brought to you by Seidman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer close to home, and by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. 2-0 the score. 3 hits aside, the 1 error. And Sonny Gray still in. This will be his final inning of work. His spot due up second in the 8th inning for Cincinnati. It's Carlson and then a pinch hitter and Bader.
Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Carlson is 0 for 2. Outside. One and two. Lars Nootbaar has moved to the on-deck circle. Carlson is hit in 4 straight, trying to make it 5 here. In the hole with 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a strikeout on the inside corner, number 5 for Sonny Gray. Well, you take away the first inning, O'Neill and Nolan Arenado, and this guy has been lights out.
Both teams only giving up 3 hits. I feel like that's a great pitch, but for Dylan, as being as close to the plate as he is, that's a tough pitch to swing at, because your first thought process is when that comes out of his hand is that's inside, and then it just kind of slowly tails back. Used to drive me crazy with Maddox, is you would look for it and he would throw it and you would have a hard time swinging at it.
And you knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming.
It's like he was throwing a wiffle ball.
Really started to get to you when, you know what he started doing at the end of his career? He started throwing change-ups and cutting them. Instead of it fading away from you, it started cutting into you, like on purpose. I thought, okay, it's really not fair. It's hard enough to hit it as it is.
Yeah. Big shift here for Nootbaar over his last 13 with a walk in 7 strikeouts. And the 2-0 pitch to Lars. Fouled back.
I love that he swings at the 2-0 fastball right there. Not let that go by.
So many times I think in Major League Baseball we see that now, don't you?
Yep. Way too many times.
2-1 the count on Nootbaar. Genesis Cabrera throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. Two and two the count.
Well, Cleveland managed 4 hits in a run today, at least.
Gave up 11. Pretty good weekend for the Milwaukee Brewers.
On the other hand,
Three and two the count on Lars Nootbaar. Bader on deck. The next by Sonny Gray. And Nootbaar hits it high in the air into right field, backing up Castellanos to make the catch. 2 outs. Harrison Bader 0 for 2, flying to right and struck out.
I mean, you think that is a, you know, when you get to the end here, you start thinking about teams that are playing, good teams that are playing against teams that are out of it. And I guess maybe Cleveland is probably right on the doorstep of being gone.
Yeah, they're
maybe
done.
Losing the edge a little. They're 9.5 out of the wild card, but I mean that's kind of the things you start to see. You know, domination by the good teams, and the teams that aren't playing well start to just kind of just give up. That was always La Russa's message at the end of the year. Got to win these games against teams that are packing their bags already.
Crowd today 32,872. 32872. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs and nobody on for Harrison Bader. Bader's sitting on 11 home runs.
See him stay on a fastball right here. Maybe see if he doesn't try to go away and leave one over the plate. I'm trying to pitch him in. Here you go, inside. There it is, the opposite. Tried to go in and went away.
2-2.
Full count, Kisner on deck. Pitch number 98 coming up for Sonny Gray. And Bader pops it up right side and out of play. Well, the 99 pitches will match his season high. Will it be the final pitch of his day? We'll see. "3-2." Fouled back by Bader. Reds will have DeShields, a pinch hitter, and India due up in the top of the 8th. The 3-2 pitch and a strikeout of Bader. 2 in the inning, 6 today. 2-0 St. Louis.
With you in our Valley Sports Midwest studios. Coming up after the game, we have Cardinals Live. The Mad Hungarian Al Rabowski and Ricky Horton will join us. The guys will break down the start for Jay Happ this afternoon. We'll get plenty of reaction from Busch Stadium, and we'll also preview the Mets series. It's all coming up on Cardinals Live following tonight's game as we send it back to Danny and Jim.
All right, Scotty, thank you. It's Genesis Cabrera. 27 pitches last night. And this will be our Chevy call to the pen. Delino DeShields, then a pinch hitter in the top of the lineup in this all-important game. 2-0 our score.
Said he threw 27 pitches yesterday. He hasn't thrown, other than that, he's had 5 days off.
And the first pitch taken for his strike, which probably plays into this appearance here.
Sure. Also nice to get those 5 days off.
Yep. And a tough stretch, and then chance to regroup. The 0-1 pitch popped up to the right side and out of play.
The Cardinals was back and forth on Friday night. Reds came up with the runs late in the ninth. Then yesterday, back and forth. Reds jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Cardinals tied it. Arenado put them on top in the 8th. And now here we are in a 2-run game in the top of the 8th. The 0-2. The base hit into the gap on an 0-2 pitch, left center to Shields. Extra bases, and the tying run will come to the plate.
Either right down the middle.
And the pinch hitter, the top prospect, Jose Barrero, will pinch hit. Two for 7 with a double and a run scored in this series. Nobody out, runner at second. Cincinnati is 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position today. 1 for 5 in the 3 games. Before this one is through, you still have to go through Castellanos and Joey Votto. The 0-1 pitch to Barrero. Well, he's got him at 0-2. He had DeShields 0-2. Next by Genesis Cabrera, almost to the backstop, and it's 1-2 as he hit triple digits. Pretty traditional defense. Second baseman Tommy Edman trying to keep DeShields somewhat close to the bag.
First time all day.
And the 1-2 pitch. Giovanni Gallegos throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. From 0-2 to 2-2. And the next by Cabrera. He got him. 99 and struck him out.
Good look at a good heater right there and a little hop, skip, and a jump. You know when he's feeling it, he's got that dance going. That was an abbreviated version of it, but
runners on, you have to.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
So 1 out. Jonathan India is 0 for 6 against the Cardinals lefty head-to-head. Fastball and a strike.
It's really the first ball that he's called a strike that hasn't been inside the box and just on the edge of the box in a long time.
India's 1 for 3. And the 0-1 pitch to the Red second baseman by Cabrera. Here it comes. Hitting .295 with runners in scoring position. Tyler Stevenson on deck.
How about that 93-mile-an-hour changeup?
Changeup.
93.
Cardinals will have Kisner, Sosa, Edman looking ahead to the home half of the 8th. Kept in front.
Pretty good play by Andrew right here. Look at this.
Well done. 2-1 the count. Into right, down the line, and it's caught by Dylan Carlson, reaching into the stands. What a play by Dylan to get underneath it, reaching in and making the catch.
Pretty good play right here by the young man. He knows where he's at, puts his arm up on the wall. Excuse me, sir, ma'am, can I have your beer later? I got to catch this ball and throw it to third. She was all over it, though. I think she would have made that play.
She was camped under it.
Wow.
And
would have hit her right in the forehead.
Put a glove on that forehead.
Whew. That would have cost her $12 with the spillage, too.
Now Stevenson as DeShields tagged up to third. 2 outs, runner at third, and that pitch taken for a strike.
Another fastball taken for a strike with a runner on third.
Stevenson today, base hit to center. Rounded into a fielder's choice and a strikeout. The 0-1. Now 0-2.
I love it. I don't think Stevenson's taken a strike today that he hasn't disagreed with.
Tense moments here late for David Bell and Mike Schilt. Cardinals trying to pull within a game of Cincinnati. The 0-2 pitch by Cabrera. Inside. The 1-2 fouled away. The 1-2 inside corner, just missed. Cabrera thought he had it. Now the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Castellanos on deck.
Really like to see him stay on deck with 2 outs.
The 2-2 missed in again, and now it's full. The 3-2 pitch by Cabrera. Here it comes. He got him. And the strikeout. Triple digits. Couple of strikeouts for Cabrera here in the top of the 8th. And it's still a 2-0 St. Louis lead. Sunday afternoon baseball. The scoring done in the bottom of the first on 1 swing of the bat. Nolan Arenado. And the bullpen again for the Cardinals has been outstanding. That was the double play with McFarland into the ball game. Then Cabrera. The game summary: 2-0 St. Louis. Sonny Gray wins 7. India 1 for 4. J. Happ 5 1/3, and Nolan Arenado with home run number 31. Santillan, his last 11 games, an ERA of .66. The Chevy Cole to the pen. It'll be Kisner, then Sosa, and Tommy Edman for the St. Louis Cardinals in the home half of the 8th. In the 9th, the Reds will have Castellanos, Votto, and Suarez. The first pitch is swung on and missed. Kisner is struck out swinging and also a ground out to short. 0 for 2 today. No balls and 2 strikes. Big gap in left center, and the 0-2 pitch is put in play by Kisner. Softly hit to second. India, the first out.
While we have a moment, rev it up. It's time for Ryan Kelly.
The only thing faster than the supersonic golf cart is the 21-day closing guarantee. Only available at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Thank you, Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. And now it's Sosa.
Just want to know where he can drive that thing being so fast. Definitely not the golf course.
Be a quick round. And the 1-0 pitch to Sosa. 2 balls, no strikes. Tommy Edman on deck. Hit to short. Out number 2. Sosa gets down the line, doesn't he?
Whew. He does. And you know
that
what
close.
Well, Suarez has a cannon. I never realized that before, but he's throwing the ball over to first base a few times today. They've been on a line.
Yeah, Suarez began the season at short. Struggled, then moved to third. Cal Farmer has been out, so this weekend series, and so Suarez certainly can play the position, and he does have a cannon. Now Tommy Edman.
I always wonder when you take a shortstop or a center fielder and move them over, and then all of a sudden you see them not hitting. Does that, you know, almost suppress their competitive spirit a little bit, you know, from being in the middle of everything and then having to think with the game and go through the game and keep you in the game, to all of a sudden now you're kind of just standing over there waiting for the ball to get hit instead of being in the middle of everything.
India comes to get it. Low throw to Votto, and it sets the stage for the 9th inning. Cardinals trying to take 2 out of 3, and the big bats coming up for the Reds. Giovanni Gallegos, during this homestand, has not allowed a base runner through 3 outings. 4 2/3 on this homestand. It's been big moments, big games, big saves. Will it continue on this Sunday afternoon as the Cardinals try to make it 2 of 3 against the Reds? As they are 3 outs away. Pulling to within 1 of the Cincinnati Reds. Chevy, Cole to the bullpen, Giovanni Gallegos.
Yeah, this is a big one here. I think that this game might be as big as any game this year. Obviously, because you're playing the team that you're chasing, and it's a big swing one way or the other, and then all of a sudden you guys depart, and now you have to rely on other teams to win, and you could win some. If they win, you get nowhere. If you lose, they lose, you get nowhere. So this is a big chance right here to pick up another game.
Here's Castellanos.
On the afternoon, he has walked twice. He has flied to center. And the first pitch by Giovanni Gallegos taken for a strike, and we're underway here in the 9th. Usually if he is down in that portion of the zone, Jimmy, he's going to have success.
Well, it gives that slider a better chance to beat the swings on the slider if you keep the ball coming out of the same spot, you know, the release point, and you're not high with one or the other, and then you get more swings if they both come out of the spot. And if you're down with that fastball, then that slider can be down more, and you're going to get some swings over the top of it.
The 0-2 pitch.
Taken high, 1-2. But we were wondering if someone had been ejected in the Cardinal dugout. By the way, we get word now it was Matt Carpenter apparently ejected earlier in the game with that at bat of Nolan Arenado. So there was someone ejected.
Well, I wouldn't have thought it would be a pitcher because they want that. They want that swing and miss.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Castellanos. And he got him. A strikeout to begin the ninth. The bullpen today. After Happ went 5 1/3. Garcia came in, got the next 2 in the 6th. A strikeout in the 7th and a base hit allowed. McFarland came in. Gets the double play to end the 7th. Cabrera. A scoreless 8th with a couple of strikeouts. 3 innings, 2 hits. And Giovanni has got the first out here in this 9th. And now it's Joey Votto. Strike 1. Votto 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts. You don't see that very often.
Nope. And the key to this inning for him will be keep people off base. That way you can continue to work and throw strikes. You don't have to worry about the 2-run home run. You just can give up a solo and you're good.
Shift on the right side. Arenado way back. Well, you mentioned all you need is base runners, and if Joey Votto just punches it to the left side, it's a base hit. The tying run comes to the plate.
I mean, to be honest with you,
his back control, he could do that.
Well, I don't know why you just don't bunt. I mean, his run doesn't. If he hits a homer, it doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
I'd be surprised. Pretty much daring him to bunt it.
Did go. And once again, Joey Votto not very pleased. Similar reaction that he had earlier in the game, and that one doesn't go his way. And
that might be a reason for that.
Well, if he strikes out here, he's going to lose it. Third base umpire is Ryan Blankney. And the 1-2 pitch by Giovanni Gallegos is skied a mile high on the infield. Who wants it? Everybody clears out. It's Sosa. And there's 2 outs. Mike Moustakas will pinch hit for Suarez. And the Reds down to their final out. Cardinals trying to pick up win number 73 and go to 4 games above 500 as they head into New York. Shift on the right side. And the first pitch. Moustakas takes a ball.
It was a deflating loss, but yet we've said that before, and Cardinals have bounced back, and it looks like they may do that in this series. They're 1 out away. They won last night late, and they have not allowed a run on this Sunday afternoon. So well pitched. And the 1-0 pitch to Moustakas. Lined, and he extends the ball game with a base hit into the gap in left center. Nothing easy to get that final out. Nope.
Good piece of hitting right here by Moustakas. It's just get a fastball, just guide it out there.
Something to keep in mind after this game as we wrap up the season series with the Reds. Obviously, the Cardinals have a tough schedule ahead.
The Mets still in contention, whether it be for the division or the wild card. But the Cincinnati Reds, Of their 19 games remaining, 9 will be against the Pirates. And Cincinnati 9-1 this season against the Reds. Cardinals will have the Mets, Padres, and then 2 series remaining each with Milwaukee and the Cubs. 2 outs, and the tying run comes to the plate in former Cardinal Max Schrock. Schrock with a base hit in this game. That was in the 7th. Came off the bench. Pinch hit for Aquino. Two outs. Runner at second. And the first pitch by Giovanni Gallegos. Take it for a strike. The 0-1. Ground ball, foul. And the Reds down to their final strike. 0-2 the count on Max Schrock.
That's a good pitch right there. I think that thing that Max does really well is he'll stay on the ball to left center field like we saw earlier. If you force him to make a decision early inside or down, then he's going to have a tougher time.
The 0-2. Got him! The strikeout for Giovanni Gallegos. The Cardinals hold on. It's a shutout. 2-0 the final, and they take 2 of 3. What a weekend series here in St. Louis after dropping the game on Friday night. The Cardinals take 2 of 3 against the Reds and certainly still in the hunt for the wild card.
What a great job by that bullpen. 4 guys come in, combined only give up 3 hits. Super nice job right there. And what a homer by Arenado in the first inning right here. Gets a fastball right down the middle. This is our Budweiser play of the game, and it is the game winner in the bottom of the first. It's a big home run.
At that time, that would be all the scoring that we'd see, but Arenado with home run number 31, 2, and both are big in this series. Cardinals off to New York, and we're off to the post-game show. Entertaining homestand here at Busch comes to a close with the Cardinals winning 2 of 3. Post-game show comes your way.